Chat again. The hell, OBS? Stuff here. There we go. Okay. Now I can chat. Let's see. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna say. All links up. Links here. Pin that. Message. There we go. Why do I have to chat in a different window? It's ridiculous. OBS, you should be ashamed of yourself. Let me put on my do not disturb. Now that I know that I'm live. And then my YouTube over here. Taylor Morrison House. Reduced in Florida to a price, morning Nathan, I can actually pay cash for. There we go. No thanks. I don't want. We need to see if that home is actually a worthwhile one. Let's see. Let's go. And I know I'm going to fuck this up. I know I'm just going to fuck this up. But it is what it is. We're going to do some scans now. It's going to be a fairly long show, but let's do some scans in Trendspider to see what's out there. What's up? Roblox. RBLX, that's in the core portfolio. Let's look at, and don't want to do alpha picks. We're going to do the top stocks. And this is for the last few years. So we'll say Credo and EAT. Both have buys in the 4-hour algorithm. Bitcoin and crypto, anything in here? I think there's a couple. Morning, Jacob. I got water this morning. Beth, I don't like that one. This one just trades all around and it always gives like signals and I don't like that one. Let's go to energy names since that was a big one. Boyle. Boyle and Nat Gas was down yesterday, I think, but it's really coming back. Larry, I think, Boyle's a leveraged ETF as well. We'll go leveraged ETFs, ConL, and MSTZ, SMST, and TBT. Which is down 3% TBT. Leverage, let's go low cost Vanguard. Anything here? Nope. Let's go spider sectors. I don't think there's anything there, no. Because I got my list. I just don't remember. I get this emailed to me every day. So A-Lab, AMD, Celsius, Coin, FNMA, JP Morgan, PRMB, Schwab, VRT, and VST. Both of them got in there. That's the watch list. Let's look at the sectors. No, index. Then I go Dow. Anything in the Dow. JP Morgan's in the Dow, I think. Yeah. So that's the only one. No, I don't follow, Nathan. I don't follow a lot of news per se. One of the things I'm going to talk about today is just why some of these tools, Intel, interesting, Monster and Marvell, why some of these tools, I spend such little time today making decisions because of the tools that I have. And it's just, I'm in the stage of my, my investing career where I wish ETFs were around when I was in my 20s and 30s, because I would get excited about that stuff. But today I'm just like, oh, did I put in, let me see. Yeah, I did put it in. Okay. So we're going to look at a stock, VERV, exploded. Well, is that an overreaction? Is there an opportunity there? And if you don't trust charts, HIMS was set up in that bull flag, then all of a sudden a 10% pop yesterday. It was just there for the taking. This is a Golden Cross scanner, and it's coming up with a lot. Golden Cross is great. So take a look at that. I've talked about Oscar before. Okay, we'll take a look at, we'll go to Seeking Alpha, and then I gotta log in. 799,497. There we go. And let's look, we're gonna look at Oscar, because is this one that you want to look at because it was up 7% yesterday. It's up another 7% in the pre-market. It's doing well. I've talked about it. I know I've talked about it. So let me just put that in there. Morning, Chris. Austin. Yeah, Austin gets paid by Neos. I don't get paid by Neos. Austin gets a monthly check from Neos. I may know if I had a monthly check from Neos, but SoFi. We'll kind of take a look at that one. If that one's just fallen by the wayside. I brought up Estee Lauder last week, so you could probably, I think you can do this. $ Estee Lauder. 615 pod notes. No, that's not it. I think it was Burry. Yeah. 5:30. That's the Trump taco trade. There it is. And let's just do this. Let me do this. And we'll put this in here. On 5:30, I brought up, there we go. Morning, Wendy. So we'll look at that one. Talked about flying cars. Here's a complete list of drone stocks. I mean, there's a complete list if you want to add it to a watch list of yours. Meta, back to 700. I mean, they're going to monetize WhatsApp. They haven't monetized it before. They're going to monetize WhatsApp. I think that's a huge one. An insider buy on EVO. We'll take a look at that one. Is it worth it? When a CEO with a compensation of $3.5 million buys $7 million of the stock, that's big. I will talk about Leon Cooperman. You know what? I'm going to bring on Leon Cooperman. Does it have a picture here? Leon Cooperman. We'll just leave that page up because I hope it doesn't autoplay. Skip. Welcome back. Plenty to talk about with our next and there he is. We don't want his eyes closed. A couple weeks ago. Great interview with Leon Cooperman. I thought it was great. Iran is said to have reached out about, I mean, I'm going to tell you, news coverage, I just, there's no way I should even include news coverage because it's just going to move way too fast. AMD, I called it out yesterday, and it shot up with Micron and others. One thing that this market is not is solar. And that anybody holding a solar stock should absolutely know what's going on. And these are the top 20 gainers in the S&P yesterday. I'll go over what that is. Don't be fooled. This is an AI market. It is 100% an AI market. And Josh and Michael go over that. One thing they brought up is stable coins, because this is Steve Eisman, who went over the stuff this morning. I saw it this morning. I'm going to look at weekly. Yesterday I went over yearly. I'm going to look at monthly candles. And yesterday's alpha pick, I scalped for 3%, 2.7%. I made a few $100. I made my lunch payment, and then I bought the stock with the money that I made. So top quant stocks, I mean, just Seeking Alpha is a treasure trove. So yes, I'm going to go into ads about Seeking Alpha, so you can get annoyed with me if you'd like. But okay. But good morning. Hit the thumbs up button. We got 9 thumbs up and 23 people in here. We'll get about 50 people in here. I think it says the peak is like 50 or 60. I haven't listened to Austin in a while. I need to go over there and listen to him and Robert. He does a great job. I think they do. I don't think they do a daily. And theirs is heavily scripted and, edited. I think, they plan theirs a hell of a lot more than I plan mine. Okay. So markets are, let's see. This is, by the way, how I have to chat with you. So it's wacky. Let's see. Futures. They've recovered a little bit. It was the retail sales, I think. Slump in May, yeah. Retail sales a little weak. Morning, Carrie. Yeah, I think it is twice a week. I just don't. I don't follow the ones I follow. The Compound is my main one. Compound and Friends and Animal Spirits. Those are the two that I really like. And they do enough that it keeps me pretty invested in listening to them. Respond to war with Roar. introduce Roar, my own creation to which Roar. What is Roar? Dude, tell me what Roar is. Interesting. Microcap stock. Interesting. Okay. We got live chat going on over there. Go back here, and we got the cues. Do I have a dog at my feet? I don't think so. Yeah, you listen to me, Ferrari. Leon Cooperman is an amazing man. He's my father's age, but he is definitely. I was amazed at how clear he was yesterday. He has declined. I mean, you know, if you've watched CNBC for years, you know Leon Cooperman. He comes on, and he's great, but he has declined, but he's still top of his game, man. Kerry, I don't like IPOs. CAI and Slide, I haven't looked into them, to be honest with you. So I've been clear that IPOs, I think, are tradable at certain times if you can get in. But, you know, the risk is always there. I mean, look at CoreWeave. I mean, that's a short squeeze, and you know, but if you just went back to this, look, if you bought at this 62 right here, you were hurting when it got down to 30. So and that's only April 2nd through, that's 2 weeks. Now, if you got in at the IPO at 39, boy, you were pissed because you could have bought it for, you know, a week later at 33. So, you know, but I think this one went out at 20 or something. But I in my mind, any company that IPOs, you can trade if you believe in the business. But I haven't looked at either one of those, and to be able to talk intelligently about an IPO, because you don't have much information whatsoever. You can look at some of their financials that they put out, but it's not a clear picture. And usually I like to wait until the first earnings when they give their guidance and stuff like that. So that's typically been mine. But have I bought IPOs on the day of IPOs? Yeah. Have I made 20, 30%? Yeah. Have I lost 40%? Absolutely. It's just part of the game that you play with IPOs, is that volatility is going to be there. So I don't know about the businesses. CoreWeave and Circle were interesting ones that I thought in particular, because CoreWeave, remember, it's an AI market. We'll go over that. It's an AI market. But not all AI is created equal. CoreWeave was great because it's a data center, and I thought it was good. When it ran up, I said, I'm out. You know, I'm not getting into this one. The valuation's just crazy because I don't know enough about it and how they're doing their capital spend and things of that sort. So I just didn't know enough. And I said, you know, hey, if I miss, I miss it. Circle was one. I said it. I didn't have the cojones. I mean, honestly, I had balls the size of marbles. They were tiny. They were tiny that day. You know, yesterday, I was perfectly fine taking a 2.7% a gain in 45 minutes off of the Alpha Pix one. So I was okay with that. But I think I don't think you can honestly know a business on an IPO. And so I think remember, and part of today's podcast is there's certain ways of looking at the market. There's the fundamental way, which has become less and less a short-term look, but more a long-term look. And then there's the technical way, which is the charts. And then there's the way of alpha picks, which is, hey, have somebody else do it for you. But I'd love to give you a thought process on that one. It just would take way too long for me to go into, Kerry. Then I just don't have the time. And honestly, I just don't have the interest. I mean, if I see stuff start moving and I want to trade it on an IPO, I'm going to wait for it to open. I'm going to look at a couple of candles, see if it has confirmation. If it has confirmation, I'll get in and then I'll trade it. So, but I haven't done that with any IPO recently. I just had the feeling CoreWeave and Circle was the big one, and I just said that it's a stable coin. And the business, remember, the business of stable coins, it's not Buffett always says, if you don't understand the core business, don't buy the stock. The core business of a stable coin, I don't understand the dynamics behind it, but I do understand people hold stable coins. So if you're in Venezuela, if you're in one of these other countries that has high volatility, Turkey with their currency has high volatility. I know this from traveling around the world. When you go and you try, hey, I want to turn this into local currency, you could lose 50% of the money that you just turned in a day in some of these places. Stable coins are tied to the US dollar. So it's a very, very good business for people in other countries to actually buy a stable coin. And the way stable coin businesses make money, they don't charge a huge transaction fee. I think there are some transaction fees, but it's not enormous. The way they make their money is they get you in the stable coin and you hold the stable coin, and then they get billions of dollars to throw into treasuries, to throw into stable investments where, if they're liquid investments, but they make a good amount of money. And if they need money, cash on the sidelines, because all of a sudden people want to take it out. These are $1 billion businesses. What's 5% of $1 billion? A lot of freaking money. So that's where I was with Circle, which is the stablecoin portion. Again, hit the thumbs up button. I'm going to get on with the podcast, but I don't mean to ignore you, Kerry. I would take a long time for me to kind of look at those just because it's probably a research thing. But I would just watch the charts. I mean, my best advice on IPOs is watch the charts. I mean, Circle was a great, we can look at the 5-minute chart on Circle. Let's go to a 5-minute chart. I mean, that's not rocket science to say, okay, right there. That's not rocket science to say, oh my God, don't buy it. If you bought it up here at 137, June 9th, where it opened up, and then you got it at 109, right there. And then you got, at 102. I mean, you got a gap here between 134 and 146. And that was yesterday. And the reason that was yesterday is because they said, what did he say? It was an iPhone moment, I think. And I have that article in the podcast. But there is no way you could value, if people buying here at 136, they kind of thought it was worth 136. Now, I think there's a lot of people who don't even understand the business who bought at 136 and said, I just want to be part of the IPO. And that's what you've got to deal with is this crazy volume stuff. So it's a little bit hard to say, okay, I understand that business. IPOs for me are it's kind of like earnings. People hate trading around earnings. I love trading around earnings. I love looking at a business and saying, HIMSS was a great one. They didn't include GLP-1 in their forecast. Boom. They got to include GLP-1 in that quarter. You knew that one was going to be good. It was priced into the stock, but as they released it, you knew there was also a short squeeze. Nice, easy 10, 15%. So around those types of earnings, you knew Nvidia was going to blow it out of the water, got up to 150, all-time highs. Start trimming it. And then you buy it back at the 130s. Now you're up at what? 144. So that's kind of the way I play it a little. And it's not always perfect. Trust me. You look at CrowdStrike. I mean, CrowdStrike I played really well. In Netflix, I sold half my thing at Netflix at $980. It's $1,200 freaking dollars now. So I don't always play it right. But, you know, again, I've got a fairly good track record. And with IPOs, that's just kind of trade the chart. I mean, the chart is super easy to trade and stuff like that. And don't be afraid to take a 1% profit. Don't be afraid to take a 2% profit. And if you have the balls enough, trade a 5-minute chart on, a 1-minute chart on an IPO. Trade a 65-minute chart. Again, you're just really looking for a trend. And it will follow. It absolutely will follow. So, okay, let's get this show started. Good morning. It is Tuesday, June 17th. I was just going over IPOs with folks. So if you want to listen to the live one, again, it's about 26 minutes of me goofing off with the audience and stuff. It's on YouTube. I don't put it on Spotfiy. I don't put it on anywhere because it does tend to get a little bit long. We got a big show. The top second half 2025 stocks. That's an event that's taking place this afternoon at 12 o'clock. I will be there. Okay. Here's the strategy that you should play. The play on this one is very, very simple. Go to the link tree if you don't have Seeking Alpha. Go and get this third link. Okay. Say you know you're never going to buy Seeking Alpha. Well, go and sign up for a free 7-day trial. Attend the event. Listen to the 10 stocks that they give for the second half of 2025. Go and buy them. You want to know why? Because when you look at the top 2023, top 2024, and top 2025 stocks, they are doing really well. Okay? So there's a track record here. So if you want this particular gain at 12 o'clock, join it. You can buy them tomorrow. You can sign up for Seeking Alpha tomorrow, watch the event, and buy them tomorrow. But again, it comes with a free 7-day trial. It's the third link right there. Okay? It is a great one. And I will remind you, the Seeking Alpha Premium comes with huge advantages, like the Quant. Okay, this is one of the top areas where I go to and I say, ooh, here's the stocks that score highly in the Quant. Which ones do I want to put money into? Well, let me go look at some of their fundamentals. Let me go look at some of their technicals. And so it's not something where I think you should just go and buy it. I think you should use it for 7 days and understand what it's like. In fact, I will tell you, I think you should be getting Alpha Picks, and I think you should get the bundle. It includes Premium and Alpha Picks. And yesterday, I went on Alpha Picks, and I refreshed, and I got their new pick. Okay, this is the chart of their new pick. It's a gold pick. Okay, operating 5 mines across North America, Argentina, Turkey, and the company's recent acquisition have earned the title of third largest gold producer in the U.S. The company has shown strong momentum. Q1 2025 revenue surging 37% and operating cash flow of $85 million, despite gaining more than 70% in the past 6 months. The company maintains exceptional valuation with a forward peg that is more than 90% discounted to the sector. Favorable market dynamics coupled with operational excellence have continued to earnings that projected to grow 313% year over year by the end of this year. So what did I do? I sat there. You see, that's the 12 o'clock candle. It goes all the way up to like 13, 14 bucks. I wound up buying in at $12.71, right as it was announced. I sold as it started to lose confirmation at $13.05. That's a 2.7% gain in 45 minutes. You may say, I don't want to risk money for 2.7%. You know what? The S&P is up 2.7% in almost 6 months. It took me 45 minutes to make that. don't throw a ton of money into stuff like this. It is risky to trade like that, but sometimes you can make some money. And my point here is you need to find an approach to the market that you're comfortable with. Okay? First, find a fundamental tool. And I can go on about seeking alpha. FinViz, for years I used FinViz. Okay? This is a fundamental tool. I use seeking alpha. Why? Because it saves me time. FinViz used to take me hours to look and compare at companies. Seeking alpha takes me 5 minutes. Okay? Then get a technical tool, and that's Trendspider. Okay? That's the one I use. For years, I used Active Trader Pro from Fidelity. I used Thinkorswim from TD Ameritrade. I had a full-time job. I used it for day trading and momentum trading. But Trendspider makes things easier and faster. Why? Because I'm able to scan. I don't have to sit there and manually go through a watch list and say, ooh, this chart looks good, this chart looks good. I'm able to scan for opportunities. Every morning, I get a list of scans emailed to me, and I include those in the newsletter. So to get the newsletter, you just go to the link tree. It's right there. But I include those in the newsletter every day. So I get a list of them. What used to take me 2 hours a day of reviewing things is now down to less than 15 minutes. And that is why the paid tools are worth it. And the third tool that I have is it is Alpha Picks. Okay, Alpha Picks beats the market. It's a portfolio that outperforms the S&P historically. It's easy. I put a portion of my portfolio that I don't have to think about. Again, time savings. It teaches me. I learn at least one new thing a week from Alpha Picks, the emails that come out from Alpha Picks. Okay, it's mostly small caps. And we just got a new one today. These are 3 options from Seeking Alpha, okay? You can get Seeking Alpha Premium, which we just talked about. It comes with a free 7-day trial, and you're saving double the amount of money from now until July 4th. So go and get it. You get Alpha Picks, okay? That's a second portion. It's a rules-based portfolio. And it's great. It outperforms the market. And my suggestion, get the bundle. The bundle is what I used to pay for. Okay, and now I'm an affiliate. So there is no way that you should be making your way through this market without a fundamental, a technical tool. And then if you don't know how to manage a portfolio, get a portfolio manager. Get a guy from Fidelity. Get a guy from your brokerage firm. You know, my guy Stuart just talks to me all the time. He's like, you should be doing this. You should be doing this. Sometimes I take it as his advice. Sometimes I don't. Now, yesterday, I looked at yearly candles of the S&P and QQQ. Today, I want to look at monthly. And this is part of the strategy that you should be going through. Okay? You go yearly, you go down in time. And that's the way I've always worked things, is if I'm trying to find a gain, should I sell? Should I buy? I go down in time. What's the yearly look like? Go and look at something like AT&T yearly, monthly. Okay, go and look at something like Intel yearly, monthly. Let's look at the indexes because we're in a bull market. Remember, the yearly showed you we are in a huge bull market. Well, the monthly here on QQQ, it again shows you we're in a bull market. So again, that's the thing. And if you go to the S&P, to SPX, $SPX here, and we go to we just go to a monthly. I got to go back because it puts it into the 4-hour, but let's go to the monthly right here. SPX in the monthly. You're in a bull market. You're still going up. Again, you see this big dip right here? That is from the housing crisis, okay? That's the financial crisis. And this man, Steve Eisman, okay? He was one of the players in The Big Short. He was on CNBC this morning, Okay, he called the housing crisis, and he said on CNBC this morning, hey, in 2005, if I had come in here and you guys were the hosts, you guys would have called me crazy. Okay, he's basically making the signal that the deficit doesn't matter. His message is the deficit matters, but don't panic. He's not calling for a huge catalyst down like he was in 2005. He said, don't worry about it. The only thing you have to worry about is if the dollar becomes isn't still the world default. That's it. And this is a man who called the bottom. And then when you look at the S&P, he called this. He called this the entire way down, but he called it since 2005. Go back to 2005, right back there. Again, he called it. He had to deal with his shorts losing money for all of that time. So you can't time it. You can't. And one of the things that they brought up in this particular one was, hey, are stable coins going to replace the dollar as the default currency in the world? And they said no. No. But here, the Circle Internet stock surged 13% yesterday as the CEO predicts iPhone moments for stable coins. Maybe this is a good one. Again, Circle, it is incredibly overvalued. It is not covered by the Quant. It is not covered by Wall Street. This thing just came out a few days ago, and you're trading at 157. The 52-week high is 165. I would wait, but if you are skilled at trading with a chart, and that was one of the things I just went over with the group on YouTube. If you're skilled at trading with a chart, trade the chart. Trade the chart. But right now, I don't think that you can trade fundamentals on this. And this is a key point. And this is a great video from Josh Brown and Michael Batnick, okay? Tune out the noise. Tune out the noise. We are in an AI market. Just tune out the noise. It's an AI market. AI spending and adoption. This is the greatest product launch in history. So you're in an AI market. And I went through the gainers from S&P yesterday, okay? I just went to FinViz. And I went to the screener and I scanned, I did it by S&P, and I just sorted by the percentage change yesterday. I counted 6 of the 20 top gainers yesterday were in AI. Okay? Go and Google. I'm going to give you some homework. Go and Google the top year-to-date S&P winners. 6 of the 20 are tied to AI. It's not just AI, but you are in an AI market. We talk about risk return all the time. Okay? Risk reward. The reality is, when I talk about these AI stocks, it's because I'm a large cap tech investor, but there are plenty of other companies that are out there that are huge, that are gaining stock. Yesterday, Estee Lauder, I'll go over it. I called this out on 531. We'll look at the chart later. It was up 10% yesterday. Michael Burry on 531, he made a strange, ETF. He just bought all the Estee Lauder stuff. It's up huge. One thing that the market is not is a solar market, okay? Sunrun, solar stocks plunged after Senate Republicans proposed phasing out solar and wind tax credits by 2028 in a revised version of the big, beautiful bill. The move down triggered Sedge, one that sticks in my craw still to this day, Enphase, Array, and First Solar. It's not a solar market. But I will point out one, and I want to just put this into your thought process because I am looking at buying a second home in Florida. So I've been watching the real estate market. Real estate sales have just flattened out. I mean, who's buying a home unless you absolutely need to with interest rates as high as they are? Well, Lennar had their earnings yesterday, okay? Shares rose despite mixed full quarter results as revenue topped expectations while earnings missed. The big thing for Q3, Lennar guided for home deliveries and new orders in the same range, both slightly below visible estimates. It also forecast a lower average, okay? But the CEO said they were being very conservative. If interest rates start coming down, housing might be a sector that could pick up. So just keep it in your mind. I brought up yesterday that AMD was one of the leaders in the S&P yesterday. Okay? Comeback season is in full swing. Look at that. That is the 200-day SMA. It's trading over it for the first time in 7 months. So let's go look at AMD. Is this a buy? Well, the 4-hour algorithm got you in at $91. And this is a 4-hour chart. So if you don't understand charts, this is a 4-hour chart. It's not a daily chart. And what they're talking about there is a daily chart. That is the 200. That is the red line. This red line right here is a trend line. We have broken the trend up. That may now be used as support. Okay, it's a long way down there. So if you go from 126 down to 98 and you ride it, you didn't listen to your trend. Okay, this trend line can be drawn again. Remember, trend lines touch 3 points. I called this one out yesterday. I didn't know that there was a rumor that that AWS was going to be buying a bunch of AMD chips. I didn't know that. But again, is comeback in the full swing. When you look at a weekly on this, I did point out yesterday, this previous all-time high at 164. The valuation will be crazy at 164, but it's hit there many times before. And the MACD on the weekly, super low. This one has the ability to grow a significant amount. I think Nvidia, based on their market cap, has less likely. So if you're looking for short term, this might be your win. If you're looking for long term, I would say Nvidia is it. Now, there was some news yesterday. I'm not going to be going over all of this news because it's going to change by the time I put out this podcast. But it said that Iran had reached out and wanted to talk about peace talks. That was great. Then Trump leaves the G7 and says, hey, I've got to go back and meet with the Security Council about something crazy. The market is looking for a reason to sell off. I mean, again, look at the indexes. We are in a bull market, but look at the indexes. QQQ. This one, since April, has been straight up. It's looking for a reason to pull back. All-time highs here, we're close to it again. Okay? Maybe we start to pull back a little. It's looking for reasons. So just be aware that this Middle East stuff and the Ukraine stuff and all of this stuff does factor into this. He's talking about tariffs today on the pharmaceutical industry. I didn't bring it up. I'm just not that into the pharmaceutical industry. So maybe it's an opportunity, maybe it's not. But the market is looking for a reason to sell off. One of my favorite billionaires, this is your grandpa that you want to go and hug, is Leon Cooperman. Okay? He is a fantastic CNBC guest. Go and Google him. This is the man that I learned about the Nifty 50 over the past few years. He's been really talking about the Nifty 50. He basically said the market and the indexes probably are going nowhere based on valuation. He thinks individual stocks are the way to go. Now, I don't necessarily agree with him, but I do think the man who has made billions of dollars, he is in the realm of Warren Buffett. Okay? As far as investors go, he's somebody to listen to. And I'm going to give you the link to his entire interview. Looks good for 82, I think. I think 82, 83 years old, somewhere around there. He is really good. I'll give you one of the top stocks that he mentioned yesterday. And I'll put all the stocks of his portfolio in the newsletter. But this is Fidelis Insurance Holdings, FIHL. Insurance company. The chart looks decent. Buying and holding over 2 years makes you 21%. Okay? The 4-hour algorithm doesn't work great on this one. It actually loses you 5%. And when we look at this one from a weekly standpoint, you can see it's rather new. It's kind of trapped in a range right there. I would say your support probably around $15. Your resistance, probably around 20. Not a bad way to trade in there if you can find a strategy. But this is one of his holdings, FIHL. And if we go and look at it, the Quant says it's a hold. Okay, why? Valuation, the growth is great. Profitability, not that great. Momentum, revisions. Again, I just look at this and I say, you know what? I like Leon Cooperman. Probably not my gig. Probably not my gig. He also likes GPO, COP, energy transfer. He was big on natural gas. Big on natural gas. He thinks oil is going to go down. He thinks natural gas is going to be great. He loves energy transfer, which I like. MPLX. He likes energy transfer. He's like, listen, the valuation, and it makes sense. These guys are just killing it, and they pay me a 7% dividend. So he likes that one. Again, Wall Street loves that one as well. Maybe that's one. He expects the second half of this year to be worse than the first half. He expects oil to spike, which would kill any rally that we have. Again, Middle East. So I like the interview. I think it's worth listening to. I think it's worth looking at his stocks if one of them fits your realm. Okay, just by the way, Microsoft and Google are his large tech investments. He said they just know stuff, and he says, I have a large portion of my holdings in Microsoft and Google. He's perfectly happy. This is a guy that doesn't time the market. He just looks for the themes. Now, this one, when you see a CEO with $3.5 million in annual compensation buying $7 million worth of stock, you pay attention. EVO. Okay? EVO, let's go and look at it. CEO is only making, this is Evotech SE. I don't even know what it is. 4-hour algorithm. It does better than buy and hold. But is he timing the bottom? Maybe that, let's go and look at it in FinViz. Because, the free tool, let's go and look at the insider buys. Well, they're not making money. They have a huge short interest. Looks like, 0.77 million shares. Not huge. But the insiders, let's see, upgraded in April by Deutsche Bank. The average price target is $6.08. You're trading at $4.13. So there's good upside. They don't have the insiders here. But, EVO, I think that's the one that, EVO. EVVTY. Maybe that's it. Evolution. It's a foreign stock. So maybe this one fits your thing. Let's see about here. EVO. Let's look at EVO. It's a hold in the quant. Valuation's a bit high. I think there's insider transactions somewhere here in Seeking Alpha. I typically use FinViz for the insider transactions, and they didn't have it listed. But again, the market cap, 1.46 billion, is a small cap. So go and take a look at that one. Again, insider buys are something that you take a look at. It's not something that you make decisions on. So ads are now, one of the decisions that you do want to make. Meta owns a bunch of these properties. WhatsApp, they've never monetized WhatsApp, and it's their largest app. Make no mistake, Facebook is not their largest app. It is WhatsApp. It is heavily used by the world. Maybe not here in the US, but by the world. Advertisements are coming. What is that going to do? That's going to boost Meta's bottom line. Meta, it's a great stock. If you remember, this was one of them that I said I didn't have a large enough position in April. And boom, it triggered me. I said I'm buying. 521. That's been really good buy. At 521, there are gaps all over the place. 35% in 53 days, I'm all in. And it's not that expensive. They are a cash printing machine. Okay? Their valuation, it's a bit high, but they make up with it in growth and profitability. Again, if Zuckerberg has curbed his spending, remember that was during the metaverse phase. Hey, if you curb your spending, you just print money. Well, now he's spending it on AI, and it seems to be worth it. And again, if they can monetize WhatsApp, I think that's a great one. Yesterday, I brought up the YOLO of flying cars. Well, here's your entire list of drones. These aren't flying cars. I think they do have some flying cars. What's the one that I like? It's Amazon. Amazon is in drone delivery. They will be doing, Amazon is one that I think is a great buy. I have bought a ton of it. Okay, one that I brought up, this is the May 30th. May 30th. And I put EST for some reason, but it's EL. Michael Burry, and I said, does Burry know something? On 5:30. Okay, this was the big winner yesterday, up 10%. And on May 30th, let's see, May 30th, had you said, well, I want to follow Burry into stuff like that, you were at 66, you're at $74 today. $74. Now, do I think this is a good one? No. But I will point out, there is a gap here at 77. Okay, you're trading at 74 right now. The gap goes up to 82. For me, that might be a decent enough trade to actually take it. Now, I have learned my lesson with beauty products, so I am not going into beauty products. But if you buy Estee Lauder products, or somebody, your daughter, your mother, your wife buys Estee Lauder, then maybe it's time to actually get into this stock, because valuation-wise, this is a good one. It's cheap. Its valuation right now, it says 50 times forward earnings, but if they get it turned around and if somebody buys them, it's a business worth looking at. Again, Michael Burry, maybe he knew something, because on he was way back here. The 4-hour algorithm had you in here at 56. That would be a great buy. And that was just April 14th. But again, the gaps, if you look at this from a long-term standpoint, it's just dead. It's dead. But is it one that rebound? Maybe Michael Burry does know something. Maybe he does. He's made quite a bit of money on that one. As top stock, I went into yesterday, and just to show you what I do, okay? I just went into top stocks right here, okay? And I know that gold with the deficit is a big one. Well, I looked at GFI. I said, you know what? We've looked at HRTG before. We looked at, PSIX, which is one that was a huge winner. This one, $22 billion market cap, so it's not super small cap, $22 billion, but it's got A's across the board. Okay, valuation, growth, profitability, momentum, revisions. It seems good. Valuation, forward PE, 10, sectors at 15. Again, maybe you want to go into gold. I found this one yesterday. Let's look at GFI on a technical basis. And again, this is why you have these tools to look at it. That is a bottom left to upper right trajectory stock. From a weekly standpoint, it's a bottom left to upper right. Now, it's a bit extended. Do you want to buy it? Maybe put it on a watch list. One that is on a watch list is Spotfiy. Okay, the first golden cross since October 2024. That's huge. Is this one a new opportunity? Let's go and look at the chart. Spotfiy I like. I just think it's a bit expensive sometimes. And this one trades in a very big range. And this weekly chart right here, I'll show you the weekly chart. It actually winds up being a good range to trade in during this time, but it's completely above this now. And so we've got to find a new range to actually trade this in. Let me just refresh Seeking Alpha so that I can get the 4-hour algorithm in here. 4-hour algorithm right there had you in at 1372. You're at 1483 right now. You just got out of a 17% gain. 4-hour algorithm wins 50% of the time over the last 24 months. It's 24 positions, so you win 12, you lose 12. Your average win 12%, your average loss is 5%. So you make about as much as buy and hold. So you can look at this one, and I have all these yellow lines marked in there as support and resistance lines, and you can see on the weekly chart, the MACD is reset. Are we getting ready to go back to this double top at 24? Well, if you buy at 14 and you go to 24, that's a pretty good move. But I will tell you, Spotfiy is expensive. It's 53 times forward earnings. It's a hold in the quant. The profitability is a problem. It's ranked 19 out of 38. Okay? What's number one? LX. What's number two? OpFi, which is a top 2025 stock. So again, using Seeking Alpha and Trendspider, you can go through these things and just find opportunities. One of the opportunities that I brought up was Oscar. Okay? Oscar was up 7% yesterday. I've talked about it for a while. I don't like this one. This is my personal insurance company. I haven't figured out how to trade it, Because when I go into the 4-hour algorithm on this one, I think it's a decent one. Yeah, it makes you 55% versus 65% buy and hold, but you only win 29% of the time. Your average win is 30%. So this one is likely a big, big mover. But FYI, it gave you a buy yesterday in the 4-hour algorithm. So maybe you want to take the chance on this one. This one is considered to be a big mover, but I will point out, okay, this is what I did yesterday when I saw this one moving, because it's my insurance company and I brought it up. I went over here to ranked in industry. Okay, it's ranked number 7 out of 19. And I said, well, what's the number 1? Well, it's PUK. And PUK, year to date, up 53%. This is Prudential PLC. This is another insurance company. And it's got better valuation, better growth, better profitability, better momentum, and better revisions than Oscar. Maybe this is one that you want to look at. Again, it's at its 52-week high near 2464, but Oscar is not. Oscar is at, let's see, I think it's midway between its, yeah, it's on the bottom end of its range. It's between 11 and 24. So risk, reward, you want to take a look at that. What makes sense to you? Which one? And if you want golden crosses, Trendspider has something for you to import. You can import the golden spotter right here. Golden crosses. Just Google golden cross. It's a great one. Big names on the list: Meta, Goldman Sachs, Microsoft, and Constellation Energy. Again, golden crosses are usually bullish. And if you don't believe charts, take a look at this. HIMS was heading into this wedge, ticking time bomb. It was just a matter of time. And then what happens? That was June 14th. Then Monday, 10% yesterday. The bomb. Now, is HIMS taking off? Let's take a look. Is HIMS one that you want to invest in? Well, the 4-hour algorithm makes you 299% versus buying and holding makes you 558%. Buy and hold might be a better strategy. Boy, look at that. At $56, the algorithm got you in. Just last week, you're at $59. That's almost 10%. I don't know what percentage that is, but the MACD is still low. The RSI at 60. This is a short squeeze. Is it setting up that this double top right here at 63 is going to get broken on this one? Maybe trade it between 25 and 63. That's the way you do it on HIMS. Now, I don't currently own this one. I don't want it. I want this one at a decent valuation, and it's expensive. Okay, they are not making money. Their valuation is an F. Okay, they are not currently making a profit. But when they turn profitable, that's going to be big. And their growth, 85% revenue growth year over year. Their EBITDA growth is even more incredible. So you can analyze this with AI, and you can look at its competitors, Teladoc and Amazon Pharmacy. Again, I love Amazon. But this is a marketing company. That's all they are. They're a compound pharmacy with a marketing acquisition program. And it's been really, really good for them. And I like their CEO. Okay? Shaibu Lor put this one out. Verve Therapeutics. Eli Lilly and Invaz talks to acquire Verve. VERV. This is what you get in the pharmaceutical space, is the craziness that this is. But I wanted to bring this up because you've entered this gap, okay? Between $9 and $12. And boy, you can buy this at $11. Even though it's up 75% in pre-market, you might be able to make 10% on this one. Again, volatility. Learn how to trade a chart. How can you learn how to trade a chart? Well, go over to my newsletter, okay? Right here. And there's an education section down here. I think I give you a free 7-day trial. If not, just email me and I'll give you a free 7-day trial. Learn about confirmation. You can literally go up to the search right here and just type in confirmation. And that's how you can trade a chart. It's very, very simple. It does take time to actually learn how to do it. But look at this, the after hours. You can see it popped up yesterday. You have confirmation right here. Okay, on the 5-minute. The MACD is completely reset. Now, what's going to happen at 9:30? My guess, this one starts to go up at 9:30. The volume's probably going to be there. We're at 9:32 right now. It's 11:02. $11.02. So my guess is we'd pop with some type of volume. But you're seeing it's so far it's selling. People are selling this one. So they're taking their profits. They're saying, hey, I want my profits on this. If you learn the market, it's a very easy supply demand type thing. And it's not that hard to trade, but you do have to take risk. And the reward comes with the risk. You can see it's down at 10.99 right now. You know, you're going to have to expand this one out to see it because, again, you're going to have to, trade this one very effectively. It's not that huge of a stock. Let's see, Verve. I think it's a smaller. What's their market cap? Their market cap is $558 million. So it's not big. It's a strong buy from Wall Street, probably because people thought that somebody was going to buy them. The price target is 24. It's 120% upside. There's 10 analysts that cover this. So the momentum has been great. You know, look at that return. 3 month up 5%, and it's going to be even better today. So let's go over some scans because one of the things that I do is I scan for the market for bullish stocks in the 4-hour algorithm. Roblox is one. Yes, you got in at 55 here on April 11th, and it's still going. But the MACD and the 4-hour algorithm is telling us, hey, this one might be going for a bigger move. Now, do I expect this one to go for a bigger move? That is a huge, huge if. But you can see back here in November 2021, the all-time highs look like it's about $140. So it's not out of the realm of possibilities. Another one that has a buy, that is a top 2025 stock, Credo. I personally own this one. And you can see the entry in the 4-hour algorithm was $40.74. The MACD and the entry in the 4-hour algorithm is telling us it's going to move bullish again. And look, you've got a double top right here at about 83. Is that one going to break through? The MACD is reset. The RSI is still very high. Risk reward. Another one that is a top 2025 stock. It is an alpha pick stock, by the way, is EAT, Brinker International. And EAT, I've got busy neighbors here is what they call this one. EAT in the 4-hour algorithm, it has another buy. Let's see. It got you in at 140. You covered this gap up to 157. You're heading towards its all-time high at 190. It's at 181. But the MACD is telling us on the 4-hour, hey, there might be more room to run on this one. In our watch list, A-Lab is one. Okay, 95.22, you can see it just got you out of a 50% run. And you've got a gap up here at 114. Maybe you start to fill that gap. You've also got a gap below at 77. MACD has reset itself, and it's telling us maybe it's going for another run. I can tell you, look at the performance. Okay, the 4-hour algorithm, 127% versus 83 buy and hold. It's a good 15 months because this one just came out 15 months ago, 14 positions. You're not trading every day in this 4-hour algorithm. AMD, which we went over, one of the big winners yesterday, $91.65. That was the entry. It's telling you today, hey, there might be more room to run. We just crossed the 200-day. So maybe you have more room to run. The 4-hour algorithm is saying you may have that. But the 4-hour algorithm doesn't work really well on this one. So take it with a grain of salt. You use this like you use an analyst telling you, hey, it's a great buy. There's no emotions in this. There's no analysis of fundamentals. It is simply just the price and the target. It is the stock chart. That is all technical trading is the stock chart. Now, ones that I like, VRT. And I've got a long list of these stocks that are in this. But VRT, I like this one. At $70, I liked it. I sold it here for a loss, and I planned on buying it back 30 days later. I didn't. I should have. Around 106, you're at 117 right now. Now, are you going up to fill this gap up here to 145? Maybe. Maybe it's turned itself around. This is a stock that has infrastructure. It's cooling racks for AI. Said we were in an AI market. Another one that is AI related is the utility, Vistra, VST. This one, the 4-hour algorithm, makes you 478%. Buying and holding makes you 613%. It got you in here at 113. You've started to fill this gap at 176. Where does this gap go up to? 189. So if you buy at 175, expect 189 to be your top. So is the risk worth the reward? And that's the way you look at this. And I will tell you, one thing that Leon Cooperman said is that natural gas will outperform oil. Well, natural gas, this is a triple leveraged ETF on the bull side of natural gas. $55.45 is the entry. You're at $58.69. Okay, are we going for a bull run in natural gas? Well, if you think we're going lower in natural gas, then KOLD, because you've got a triple leveraged on the bear side, which just got you out. That's how you can use these 4-hour algorithms to trade in and out of these types of things. Okay, I don't always suggest it because these triple leveraged ETFs, any leveraged ETF, it's a decaying asset. So understand what you're trading. But if you have any questions, again, sign up for the newsletter and just reply to the email that you get. I have email, you can reply back and I'll reply to you. Sometimes you get caught up in the spam folder and it might take me a couple of days to understand that. But I do reply to everybody. So if you have any questions, remember, 12 o'clock today is the top 2025 stocks for the second half of this year. It's a big event. I'm going to be on there. Maybe I'll go live. I probably won't, but I am going to be buying. So if you have any questions, hit me up. I'll talk to you tomorrow. See you. Bye. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. Advanced Money Destroyer. No, Carrie, they will have a recording of it. So they will have a recording of it. And I think they're going to just list the stocks. What they typically do is they put up a recording of it. And it's not immediate. It usually takes a few hours to get the recording. So I like to join it, but they'll have a full transcript, and that's sometimes if I don't have time to actually join it, I'll just look at the damn transcript and I'll say, okay, what are the stocks? And I've learned in between 2024 and 2025, I'm just gonna I try and hold on. Okay. I try and determine, okay, is this a good buy? And it just hasn't worked out really well. You're just better off just buying at the time and forgetting it. And the strategy just hasn't worked all that well. Trying to find a strategy. I don't want that. We're going to take this. I'm going to put that there. I don't understand why it does that. Okay, this is export file. And we're going to go to 617 pod. Okay. Okay. It is 9:41. I am out of here. Yeah. And Chris, AMD is just one that, the valuation tends to keep me out of it, but under 100, it just makes sense. They're going to get the hype. And on that weekly, you can see the weekly right there. Under 100, shit, this one got down to April 7th, $76. So in like 2 months, you've almost doubled your money. Because they're not going away. But, okay, I am out of here. You guys have yourselves a great day. There's 31 people in here. If you could hit the thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. I don't know. Do I get the FaceTime things? No, I guess not. I thought I should, but I guess not. FaceTime reactions should be up there. I just don't know how to activate them. But hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already. I will be back tomorrow. Okay, take care, you guys. See you. Bye. Every morning
trading bell, my heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading